Hey, what's going on, guys? Vade Rewind here today, and this is gonna be the first episode of my series, my new series, where I just tell you guys some cool stories of what I, you know, have been through in life, I guess you could say. Just some shit that I've experienced. And the first story I'm gonna tell you guys is probably my most interesting story. And I've told it a lot of times to people that I know. I don't just tell it to random people. I guess if I don't know you, then you're a random person, I guess. But um, so when I lived in California, I had my squad. I had the people that I hang out with, and that was it. I just had one group of people, and they would come over to my house. My house was the spot where everybody would go hang out at, and because I was able to do whatever I wanted to at my house and could party and just do whatever pretty much. And my mom let all my friends come over, so that was pretty cool. But one Friday, every Friday we had a football game that night, and this Friday I had all my friends come over, and this one kid that I barely met like a couple days before, I let him come over to my house because all my friends said that he was cool and everything, so I didn't really mind. I was just meeting him and everything, and I was hanging out in my room, and like I said in my last video, if you watched that, I was into doing weed, like smoking weed and shit like that, and I had some edibles made, some brownies, some weed brownies, and I made it with some oil, and the oil that I used was really potent. Like, what that means is, instead of using an ounce to make the oil, the person that I got it from used a pound. So the fucking oil was super potent, and just a little bit of a brownie would get you stoned, like not able to get up off the couch stoned. So I had him, in my house, so I wasn't worried about anybody grabbing it. And I walk into my kitchen, and I just came from my room. I was gonna get something to drink, and this kid's name is Retro, and he's in my kitchen, rubbing on my brownies. Like, I had them neatly packaged, just sitting in the kitchen on the stove, just waiting for whenever I wanted to eat them. And he had a fork, and he was going at them like, oh my god, he was eating the shit out of those brownies. And I like freaked out at first because this kid, like, obviously he never smoked in his life, so that's what scared me the most, is like, this kid's about to freak out on me, I bet. So I asked him, I'm like, there's weed in those, right? And he starts flipping out on me. He's like, oh my god, are you serious? There's no way, there's no way, there's no way. But I didn't believe that for 1 second, because I mean, if most of you guys may have not ever tried a weed brownie before, but you could taste it. Like, it tastes like shit. Unless you put some frosting on it, and some delicious ass frosting, it's gonna taste like shit plain. And that's what they were, just plain brownies. So I knew they tasted like shit, so I don't know why he was eating them, and he wasn't even high or nothing like that. So I mean, there's no reason to be eating them. And so I just tell him to sit down on the couch and just relax, it'll be good. I was just trying to calm him down a little bit, and I go back to my room, and I think everything's fine. And about 10 minutes later, my cousin's boyfriend comes in my room and tells me that he's outside tripping, like just flipping out. And so I go outside, and I go into the street, and this kid's like running up and down the street doing push-ups, like doing some crazy shit. It was scaring me. And then out of nowhere, he just takes off running down the street, just sprinting as fast as he can down the street, and he disappeared and didn't come back. So I'm just standing there like, what the fuck? All right, like, I'm not gonna chase him down the street. That was the last thing I was gonna do. So I go back inside, and the next day when I wake up, I call his phone, and his mom answers his phone, and the first thing she asked me was, what was in the brownie? And like, I did not know what the fuck to say. And so I told her the truth. I told her I just had some oil in there. Like, I didn't put nothing in there to like try to kill her son or nothing like that. Like, there's nothing that could really, do something to him, unless he's allergic to something that, like eggs or whatever the fuck I used to make them. Like I just used wheat oil instead of regular vegetable oil, and so his mom was pretty cool with me. She didn't really call the cops. She didn't call the cops on me 'cause she could have, because her son, I guess, ended up in intensive care at the hospital that night, and he was asleep for 3 days. No fucking joke. Like, this kid slept for 3 days straight off those brownies. Like, everybody thought this kid was in a coma and he was gonna die, and, like, it was the biggest deal ever. But what happened was he got really fucking stoned, fell asleep for 3 days. And after he woke up, he came back over to my house and started eating my food. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know who the fuck let him in, because I just woke up and I went in my kitchen and he's there eating a bowl of cereal. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck let you back in my house? Like, you could get me in, like, huge trouble for this, because you went in my house and ate my brownies and fucking slept for 3 days. Like, that's some scary shit. And, oh shit, my gameplay just stopped. Okay, you guys are watching nothing now. Um, Dang, I've been talking for a long time. Well, moral of the story, I didn't really get into too much trouble for it. Like, no, nothing really happened to me. A cop called me in. They had an investigation on it, and they were trying to charge me with, I forgot what it was. It's some bullshit charges. They never got me on nothing though, because um, the mom didn't want to press charges and the son wasn't gonna snitch on me. So I guess it played out in my plus, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But that's it for today, guys. I talked for a really long time. I didn't even notice I was just talking out my ass. But I hope you guys enjoyed the story today. I should get some longer gameplays for you guys, because obviously it's running out. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And make sure to leave a like and give me some feedback on what you guys think about this series. And yeah, thanks. Peace.